I've been wanting to make some more of these eco-printed little notebooks with some tea-dyed papers and such inside, like that. Here's a little grungier version where I beat up the papers on the edge. I really like that. So I did another batch of eco-printing, and I thought I would film the reveal. So this was the second batch I did in a really grungy, dirty pot. So I boiled them for about 3.5 hours. I put in iron, a little bit of blue dye. I can't remember what. It's a messy, dirty pot. This could be nothing but a blue, gray, muddly mess, but still might be fun to see. So let's see. Ooh, interesting. Wow. That's an alder leaf. Bamboo, a little bit of barberry. This is a Cosmo. Coreopsis. Ooh, bamboo. Alder. Now these will fade a little as they dry, but I like the muddy watercolor look, so I don't mind. Well, that didn't do anything. Oh. Ugh. More alder. We've got acres of alder, so we'll always have lots of that. It's always pretty brown, but it always leaves a very nice mark. More barberry. That's really beautiful blue. I'm not sure how much of that is the plant and how much of it was the blue dye in the water. Beautiful. And I'm not after the really distinct individual plant marks. I really like this type of watercolor abstract print. So for me, this is perfect. All right. Here's the second one. One of these was submerged all the way in the pot. The other one was partial. So it'll be interesting to see which one this is. And these are just tiles I thrifted from a salvage shop. Ceramic tile. Oops, I tore. This plant, I wish I could remember what it is. My plant app doesn't ID it correctly. I purchased it at the nursery I worked at, and I don't know. I've got to bring in a sample because it is beautiful blue-green every time. There's more. And I am using 140-pound watercolor paper. Since these are going to be journal covers, they need to be sturdy. It's pretty amazing. See, look at that thing. It's amazing. Oh, that's blueberry. Interesting. Now the plants will always give the best impression vein side down. So the paper that has contact with the underside of the leaf always gets the best impression. Oh. See, look at that. Barberry. And ferns don't do a whole lot, but that's not bad. That might fade to nothing, but we'll see. So overall, I am very pleased. I'm going to get these drying and pressed, and maybe I'll come back to do a flip through of the final papers. All right. It's been probably more than 6 months. I'm realizing that I'm really bad about the follow-up at the end. I end up using all the papers before I do the flip through. So these are the journals that I have left, because I've already sold most of them, that I've made from the papers from this batch. So I stitched them into journals, notebooks with some tea-dyed paper, and a little bit of hand-drawn line with some homemade walnut ink. But I love these because you can see both sides of the paper in these. Here's another one with the Cosmo. And I am just so happy with how they turned out. And I've made many batches since then, and some I've even added a little bit of dye into the water. Those were some grass seed heads A little bit in there. So I'll be doing many, many more, and I promise I'll try harder to get finished projects videoed before they're all gone.